Do you think that maybe sometimes she can exploit situations to get views?
I'm gonna be real, yeah.
I don't do it with them.
You said send the galaxy to know about my baby girl's health when I was in the hospital.
Oh, that's because I was like, oh wow. It wasn't like that.
Do you have beds?
No.
Y'all just come live with us.
Yes, please.
Well, they have 2 new members.
You're currently married and you're planning a wedding right now with another man.
But the wedding's not gonna happen tomorrow.
Did Santo sleep with you?
So yes, we have done stuff.
Okay.
Twice.
With a 19-year-old boy.
I didn't know he was 19 at the time.
So this is before you knew.
Yes.
Claimed before you knew.
Literally.
Okay, babes, I don't want to start by labeling her as a horrible mother. I don't know what's happening off camera, and I limit myself on how much time I spend looking into these topics, so there could have been something I overlooked. Not that I'm trying to excuse her behavior, cause damn. This woman's desperation and these attention-seeking characteristics just shows she needs humility. Cause a grown woman with kids, mind you, should not be acting like a teenager, and shouldn't even be spending more time with other kids than her own. Everything I've learned about Ash Trevino screams zero self-respect. And not that I find any of this necessarily okay, but what makes this topic especially worse is that she's a mother and actively keeps her kids intertwined in all her platform drama. This includes selling their information, their personal issues, in exchange for galaxies and gifts on TikTok live streams. However, today I'm going to focus mostly on her recent guest appearance on the Bop House podcast hosted by Camilla. And not just Ash's appearance, but her kids were there too. While they looked extremely uncomfortable in this setting, they took advantage of their little mic time to speak their truths, which, again, was just so sad and concerning. Especially when Ash blatantly denies what they were saying, or brushes it off trying to look all innocent like a kid getting caught doing something they know they shouldn't have done. Now I want to start by saying I like how direct Camilla was with her questions. She meant business, but also made it feel like a girl-on-girl slumber party talk, which I think is why Ash was all giddy and shameless with her answers. Like Ash felt her and Camilla were equals in her eyes. But this only making me feel like Camilla knew what she was doing in order to get the responses she needed for her podcast. Definitely felt like she was laughing at Ash and not with her, and I commend Camilla for that, honestly. I do also like how she showed empathy for the kids, but this doesn't deny how she also is taking part in using them for her own intentions, knowing their controversial relevancy will only attract more views to her own platforms, with this podcast already having over 7 million views in less than a week on her own personal channel. My main concern with Ash is how openly unapologetic she is with contributing to the trauma her kids are experiencing. Her kids talk about how they can't have any friends over because their friends' parents don't want their own kids being exposed to Ash's audience, just with the possibility of being shown on a TikTok live. Her daughter even talks about wishing she could go back to how life was like before all of this attention, how she used to be confident but now feels insecure, and them also having to be switched homeschooling. Ash of course saying she doesn't feel guilty about all this and not taking any accountability by excusing these, saying it's because people are quote-unquote jealous of them. In this podcast, Ash also expresses how she's never left her children's side since the day they were born, which is false. Why do they no longer live with you? And why, when they visit, can't you provide a bed? At least an air mattress. Like, mama, let's be real a second. You need to provide for your kids, and giving you the benefit of the doubt, if you thought that becoming a problematic creator was the quickest way to get there, why didn't you keep all kids out of this, including your own babies and that 19-year-old you slept with? You need to be humbled, and you need to know that all of this isn't cute or funny. People aren't watching you because you're cute or funny, and having a podcast host feel like they have to buy your kids beds because you yourself is somehow unable to even do the bare minimum as an adult parent is embarrassing. You turned your kids into a charity case, and it seems like you couldn't care less how that makes them feel. Especially since within the same podcast you brag about owning real designer bags. There are people out there who don't have platforms. There are parents that sell themselves short every single day doing anything to protect their kids, to provide for their kids. And you're worried if your Louis bag looks fake. Let's be real, designer bags alone already look fake. So get your priorities straight. Stop exposing your kids for quick clicks. And I hope those of you who actively and unironically follow and watch her realize you're a part of the problem by feeding into this. I truly hope this woman comes to the realization that her youth and desperation of feeling young again needs to be overshadowed by her obligations that a mother should have for her kids. And if your own children not living with you, if concerned viewers are calling CPS on you, if a host giving your kids money to provide things you're not willing to provide isn't a wake-up call to correct your behavior and fix whatever relationship you can save with your kids, then just remove yourself entirely. Because how you carry yourself publicly is just evidence that you are the problem.